Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute roller coaster story of a tech titan, Dell. Seriously, it's a journey of explosive growth, a fall that was almost fatal, and then one of the most audacious reinventions you'll ever see. Let's get into it. So this is really the core question of the whole story, right? How does a company go from being number one, the top of the heap, to literally fighting for its life, and then somehow manage to stage one of the biggest comebacks in tech history? Dell's journey is just a masterclass in disruption and adaptation. So how on earth did they do it?
All right, so our story kicks off in, of all places, a college dorm room. This is where a young entrepreneur was about to completely turn the entire PC industry on its head.
I mean, just look at the speed here. It's kind of nuts. In only 8 years, Michael Dell went from being a college kid with $1,000 in his pocket to becoming the youngest CEO of a Fortune 500 company. That's a meteoric rise, and it was all built on one single revolutionary idea.
And this was it. This was the magic trick, the direct sales model. You see, while giants like IBM were selling through big retail stores, Dell just cut out the middleman. Now, yeah, this slashed costs, but the real genius was that they built computers to order. You could call them up, pick the exact parts you wanted, and they would build your machine. It was custom, it was way cheaper, and it completely changed the game.
And here's what that looks like in practice. Just check out these numbers. They went from about $500 million in 1990 to over $25 billion by the end of the decade. This wasn't just growth, you guys. It was an absolute explosion. That direct model turned Dell into an unstoppable PC selling machine. And by 2001, they'd done it. They had reached the very top of the mountain. Dell was officially the biggest PC maker in the world. They had conquered the industry. But as we're about to find out, in the world of tech, the top is a very, very slippery place.
Okay, so now for Act 2. Because almost as fast as it rose, Dell's empire started to show some serious cracks. The very strategy that made them untouchable was about to become their biggest weakness.
So by the mid-2000s, it was like a perfect storm was brewing. For one, PCs were becoming cheap commodities, and competitors finally caught up to Dell's supply chain magic. And as prices fell, well, so did their customer service. This led to a huge online backlash from angry customers, a phenomenon that got nicknamed Dell Hell. Dell was totally stuck, playing a game where the rules had already changed.
The entire market had literally shifted right under their feet. Dell's whole world was direct sales and big corporate clients, but suddenly the market wanted cool retail experiences and innovative new gadgets like laptops and smartphones. Dell was perfectly built for a world that was, frankly, disappearing fast.
And this chart right here, this shows the moment the crown finally slipped. By the end of 2006, their rival HP had officially overtaken them. Dell was no longer number one. The company that had defined the PC industry for a decade was now in second place, and falling.
With the company basically in a nosedive, the founder himself stepped back in. In 2007, Michael Dell returned as CEO, but he knew that fixing Dell was going to take a lot more than just a few small tweaks. It was going to require one of the biggest, riskiest moves in the history of tech.
And that brings us to Act 3. To save the company he built, Michael Dell knew he had to do something completely radical. He decided he had to place a massive, massive gamble.
See, here's the problem with being a public company. You're under constant pressure from Wall Street to deliver good results this quarter. Michael Dell knew the kind of transformation he needed would be long, it would be messy, and it would be painful. He just couldn't do it with Wall Street breathing down his neck. He had to get out of the public eye. He needed to take the company private.
And the price tag for that freedom? A jaw-dropping $24.4 billion. That's what it was going to cost Michael Dell and his partners to buy back every single share of the company and take it off the stock market.
And in 2013, they pulled it off. After 25 years, Dell Incorporated vanished from the stock market. At the time, it was the largest tech buyout in history. But here's the thing. Taking the company private wasn't the end goal. Oh no, it was just the first step in a much, much bigger plan.
All right, here we go, the final act. Now that the company was private, Michael Dell could finally execute his real vision to completely transform Dell from a struggling PC maker into something else entirely.
So if you thought $24 billion was a big number, well, that was just the warm-up act. Just 2 years after going private, Michael Dell was about to place an even bigger, even more audacious bet on his company's future.
For a mind-boggling $67 billion, Dell bought EMC,
a giant in corporate data storage. This was the masterstroke. He was betting the entire company that the future was in enterprise IT because data was exploding and the cloud was taking over everything. This one move would transform Dell from a PC company into a one-stop shop for basically everything a modern business needs to run.
And this is what the new Dell Technologies looked like. The PC business, yeah, it was still there, but now it was just one part of this powerful ecosystem, combined with EMC's massive data infrastructure and VMware's critical cloud software. All of a sudden, they could sell you everything from the laptop on your desk to the giant data centers that power the internet itself.
So when you really step back and look at it, this journey from a dorm room to king of the PC world, to a company on the brink of disaster, and finally to this reborn enterprise giant, it wasn't just about survival. It was about seeing where the world was going and having the guts to bet the entire farm on getting there first. So Dell's massive gamble, it absolutely paid off. The company was transformed, but its own story teaches us a pretty powerful lesson, doesn't it? Technology never, ever stands still, which kind of leaves us with one final thought. In a world that is constantly changing, is any reinvention ever really final?